I start going through the information that I've found out regarding the failure of Dragon Age the Veilguard, I need you guys to understand just how dire it really is for BioWare because of their terrible decision making and pushing ideologies and agendas over good gameplay first when it comes to making their games. I've been contacted once again by the very same insider that provided me all these pinpoint specific details that were right on the money that a lot of people that aren't familiar with the channel doubted me on or thought that I was making it up. But no, I'm going to take a quick victory lap here. This is all everything that I reported accurately, perfectly on the nose to the T. So shout out to the insider that provided me with these details. And later on in this video, I'm going to follow up with you guys on some additional things that they talked to me about after the quarterly earnings call and what they're thinking about the future of BioWare. And imagine my surprise when I found out that EA had their quarterly earnings, and holy crap, saying it's bad is actually the nicest thing I could come up with. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And Dragon Age the Veilguard is now officially a massive flop. Not that it's really surprising to anyone that's been paying attention to YouTubers that have been screaming from the hilltops from day one about just how bad this game really is. We got confirmation directly from the horse's mouth. EA themselves came forward on their quarterly earnings call and was like, yeah, guys, it's not good. We lost almost $500 million and our expectations didn't even come close. I'm talking 50% less than what we thought we'd be making off of this game that ended up completely failing. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down how Dragon Age the Veilguard and another FC sports game apparently contributed to EA losing upwards of $500 million in a quarter. Electronic Arts is currently facing a pretty serious financial meltdown, one unlike they've seen in recent years, with the stock plunging nearly 20% following the disastrous performance, and that's an understatement, of Dragon Age the Veilguard. EA has been forced to lower their revenue forecast for the fiscal year, directly citing the underperformance of both Dragon Age the Veilguard and EA Sports FC 25 as the two major reasons as why they fell short. Via the Business Wire, Electronic Arts, Nasdaq, EA today announced preliminary results for the third fiscal quarter and a revised outlook for the fiscal year ending in March 31, 2025. And holy crap, does this get bad. EA's initial guidance for the fiscal year 2025 anticipated mid-single-digit growth in live service net bookings. However, the company now projects a mid-single-digit decline, with global football accounting for the majority of the change. Global football had experienced 2 consecutive fiscal years of double-digit net bookings growth. However, the franchise experienced a slowdown as early momentum in the fiscal third quarter did not sustain through to the end. As a result, EA revises its outlook for global football to end the fiscal year down mid-single digit at the midpoint of the new outlook. And what I took away from this entire thing that's highlighted here is wild. This is how bad Dragon Age did. Separately, Dragon Age engaged approximately 1.5 million players during the quarter. And before I even keep going on that, I want you to hone in on the keyword that they use, which is engaged. It doesn't say they sold 1.5 million units. It says they engaged with 1.5 million players, meaning they're using ambiguous words to try to hide the fact that the game sold even worse than the number they're talking about here. This is if you pile all the free copies they gave out when people bought the NVIDIA graphics cards, all the games that were actually sold, and all the people piled in on EA Play, paying, what was it, 17 bucks a month to be able to play this game and then canceling it right after that. So they fell well short of not just sales, but financial expectations, which is part of the reason I go back to These streaming services are actually destroying the game companies. At least with a game sale, they make $70 right off the top. And sure, at a store, you're losing some of that profit, but digitally, you're not losing as much. And most people, as far as I've seen, when it comes to Dragon Age the Veilguard, we're just like, sure, I want to play it. I'll pick up EA Play and then cancel it 30 days later, and I'll pay $17 for a game. And yeah, it sucked. Glad I didn't pay any more for that. And I'm not ever going back to it. But they continue, saying that the engaged approximately 1.5 million players during the quarter is down nearly 50% from the company's expectations. So not only were the numbers completely embarrassingly paltry low, but they're still 50% less than what they were expecting to engage. So that means they were expecting to not sell 3 million units, but engage with 3 million players to maybe pick it up for a month on the streaming service, or maybe buy it and hopefully not return it, or maybe buy a graphics card and use the free code for it. They just expected more people to care, and they just didn't. As a result, EA is providing preliminary results for its third fiscal quarter and updating its fiscal year 2025 net bookings outlook. It now expects net bookings of approximately $2.215 billion for the third fiscal quarter, and an updated range of $7 billion to $7.1 billion for fiscal year 2025. Which means that they have been revising this down from 7.4 to 7.7 billion to 7 to 7.15 billion. And if you want to take the worst case scenario from those numbers and take the largest gap and say what they expected to what they got, that's over $500 million that they've lost out on expected revenue. That's how hard this game failed and how far short it fell of expectations. EA's CEO Andrew Wilson made a statement during the call saying, during Q3, we continued to deliver high quality games and experiences across our portfolio, which I'd say, what? However, Dragon Age and EA Sports FC 25 underperformed our net booking expectations. This month, our teams delivered a comprehensive gameplay refresh. In addition to our annual Team of the Year update in FC 25, positive player feedback and early results are encouraging. We remain confident in our long-term strategy and expect a return to growth in fiscal year 26 as we execute against our pipeline, which this is the classic when you're losing and everything's coming against you. You say, yeah, we know the sky's falling, the house is burning down, but just wait till next year because of course it will get better. But then you gotta ask, how? Like, what is EA working on? What games are in the pipeline? What should anyone expect to get excited about? Based off of especially what BioWare's been putting out there lately between Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, and now Dragon Age the Veilguard, that is a line of failure after failure after failure. And we're just gonna expect to hope for something that turns out to be good next year? I mean, what else does EA have even in the pipeline? As a result, the stock is down nearly 20% as of the following morning after the Q3 results, and it looks to be getting even worse as time goes on. My insider's warnings were spot on. EA's focus on identity politics and woke narratives have come at a steep cost. The cost we now see and have been screaming about for what feels like years at this point. We don't want to be lectured. We want immersive, engaging worlds with memorable characters and gripping stories, not someone injecting trans ideology into a game, putting slop together, throwing at people, and then calling you a bigot when you say, this is not what I want to play. That's not a sound strategy when it comes to selling a game. By abandoning what made Dragon Age great originally, EA has alienated their core audience and undermined the financial stability of one of their most storied franchises, feeling like tossing a lit match behind your back onto kerosene while walking away. I gotta say, how they handled this entire situation with Dragon Age and Corinne Bush, and how obviously he's not there anymore, and we're supposed to just assume that's because he left on his own accord. Yeah, okay. Like, how stupid do you think people are? In one of my initial communications with my insider, they stated, The projections of copies sold, they were expecting around 10 million. EA is allergic to risks nowadays and wants big blockbusters. Also, it is important to note that Veilguard has been in development for a long time, and the previous iteration, before a full reboot, was called Joplin, a co-op version of, but was canned after Anthem failures. And it clearly didn't work out the way EA was hoping after what some are saying was upwards of 9 years in development time, 3 iterations of redoing the game over and over and over again, bringing Corinne Bush in towards the end of the project and making it the 3rd iteration and getting rid of Dreadwolf and making it the Veilguard. They were probably at their wits' end saying, yeah, we know this is slop, but we can't start over a 4th time, so let's just push this game out. I spoke to my insider again after the earnings call, and they stated the quarter wasn't great. That sounds like a potential cleanup. Knowing who's in charge in the US, DEI programs in most companies will have to be scrapped. Finally, in parentheses. And then they followed up with saying, sorry to see that someone took your story and took your hard-earned credit. And that's in reference to Jeff Grubbs stealing the story that Grums and I broke. This is someone who I confirmed information with to break that story. And they were pissed off that some other dude in the media was like, oh yeah, I'll just pick this up and take credit for it. And then we see Eurogamer and everyone else sourcing Eurogamer and Jeff Grubb. Here's the thing. We know what we're dealing with. And this is exactly why people are coming to us for information instead of places like Eurogamer anymore. Because you can't trust them, especially with their sourcing. But anyways, what's next for EA is not a great look. Investors are rightfully furious, fans are pissed off, and BioWare's future is in extreme doubt. And again, I've heard rumors that BioWare Edmonton may be closing down as soon as February 2025. And sure, that was initially dismissed by the same guy that stole my story, so take that for what it's worth. But after these financial results, I gotta say, with the people leaving this BioWare in Edmonton and the results of Dragon Age the Veilguard completely flopping, there's going to need to be some serious justification to keep that office open, because otherwise they're going to be losing even more money and pissing away hundreds of millions of dollars for nothing. Will EA learn from its mistakes and abandon its obsession with identity politics, or will it continue to double down, further alienating players and tarnishing its once proud legacy? I feel like once you hit rock bottom, only then can you change. And honestly, the way the stock is dropping like a rock right now, that moment is coming sooner than anyone expects. It's just a matter of, are they going to be around in time to fix it before it all comes crashing down? Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com. I will link this article in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash Smash